Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the first chapter of your economics, that is development. Before starting with the deep thorough study of your chapter, we need to clarify some important terms which you will read in this chapter. The first term is the development. That is also the meaning of your title of the chapter, that is development. So what is this? It is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. Now, beforehand, you must know that there is a difference between growth and development, as development is a broad term which includes growth, along with that, the lifestyle of the standard of living of a particular country. So, therefore, development includes the growth, progress, as well as the positive change or addition to various parameters. And those parameters include the physical components, economic components, environmental components, social components, or the demographic components. Which means when we study growth from the viewpoint of these components, it will further lead to the development. So development is a broader term and growth is a narrower term which is included in the term development. Obviously, if there is growth, that will ultimately lead towards the development of a particular nation with the help of the various components like economic, environmental, social, physical, as well as demographic. So this was all about the term development. The next term is per capita income, which is also known as average income. Now what is this? It measures the average income earned per person in a given area, and that area may be a city, a region, or a country. And this per capita income is calculated on the basis of a certain specified year. And we always take average income. The total income is not considered in economics, as total income may include more variations, so therefore average concept is considered in economics. So per capita income is the average income which is earned per person in a given area in a specified year. So this per capita income is calculated as total income of the area divided by total population. So if we want to calculate the per capita income of India, so what will we do? We will divide the total income, that is the total national income of India, and it will be divided by the total population of a country. So this is how the per capita income will be calculated. If we want to calculate the per capita income of a particular city, what will we do? We will divide the total income of a particular city with the total population of that city. So this is how the per capita income or the average income is calculated. And it is generally calculated for a specified year. Suppose if I want to calculate the per capita income of 2019, I will divide the total income or the total national income with the total population of our country. Now the next term comes is the literacy rate. Now this rate is associated with the term literacy, and you must know that literacy means, or literate person means, that who has the ability to read and write. That person is known as a literate person. So literacy rate is calculated as the percentage of people in a certain sample of population or country that have the ability to read and write. Therefore it is the percentage which shows that how many people in a certain population or in a particular country or in a particular area have the ability to read and write. And according to the economics of your 10th grade, it is defined as the number of persons who is 7 or above and are literate. That means the persons who are lying between above the age group of 7 years and those who are literate, that is have the ability to read and write, those number of persons will be known as the literacy rate. And according to 2019, the literacy rate of India is 69.1%, which means that out of the total population, 69.1% of the total population is literate, that is they have the ability to read and write. If we talk about the 100% literacy rate, it is in North Korea. North Korea is a country where the literacy rate is 100%, which means each and every individual over there has the ability to read and write. So this is the function of the literacy rate. The next term over here is IMR, which is infant mortality rate. Now, infant mortality rate basically relates to the infants which are under 1 year of age. So therefore, this is the rate which calculates the number of deaths under 1 year of age as a proportion of 1000 live births in a given geographical area during a given year. Suppose I want to calculate IMR of Punjab. So what I will see, what is the proportion of the number of deaths to the 1000 live births in Punjab during a given year. So that is infant mortality rate, that is number of deaths under 1 year of age as a proportion of 1000 live births in a geographical area and during a given year. So according to 2019 data, there are 30.9 deaths per 1000 live births in India, which is quite a big proportion. That is, out of 1000 live births, the number of deaths over here are 30.9. This rate shows the healthcare facilities of a particular nation. So we need improvement in this factor also. The next term is the net attendance ratio, which shows the total number of children in the age group of 6 to 10 years that attend school as a percentage of the total number of children in the same age group. So net attendance ratio basically means that how many number of children that lies between the age group of 6 to 10 years are attending the school out of the total number of children in the same age group. So for this, what I will need the total number of children who are in the age group of 6 to 10. That will come in the denominator, and in the numerator, the number of children who are actually attending the school will come over there. So from that, I will come to know about the net attendance ratio. Let's say in Punjab, the total students who lies between the age group of 6 to 10 years are, let's say, 50,000. And out of these 50,000 students, only 30,000 students are attending the school. So net attendance ratio will be equal to 3:5. So this is how the net attendance ratio is calculated, which will show that how many children are actually attending the school from the age group of 6 to 10 years. Now next term comes is the life expectancy, which shows the average period that a person may expect to live. Now this life expectancy also depends on the healthcare facilities of a particular nation, because of which a person is expecting that how much average period of life he will actually live. And in India, the life expectancy is 69.50 years according to 2019 data, which means that in India, on an average, people are expecting that they will live around 69.5 years of age. So this is life expectancy, on which the longevity of a person also depends, that how a long and healthy life is measured in terms of life expectancy years. We will also study this term. Now the next term is gross enrollment ratio. Now this is somewhat related to the net attendance ratio. Now this gross enrollment ratio relates to the number of students enrolled in school that may be at primary or secondary level. So this also shows that how many number of students are actually enrolled or admitted in schools at primary and secondary levels of education. This will indicate the education parameter of a particular nation. The next term comes is the Human Development Index, also commonly known as HDI. So it is a composite index of life expectancy, education, and per capita income indicators, which are used to rank countries on the basis of human development. So in this index, we will rank the various nations on mainly three parameters, which are the healthcare facilities, per capita income, and the education facilities. We will go through these parameters of the various nations, and on the basis of those parameters, various countries will be ranked, and which will show the human development of a particular nation. So this is the main objective of human development index. The next term is national income. Now what is national income? Actually, this is the concept which you will study in macroeconomics in your 12th grade. So for a brief introduction of what is national income, it refers to sum total of all the goods and services, actually final goods and services produced within a country during an year. That is, the national income will be calculated as the sum total of various goods and services, that is the market value of the final goods and services which have been produced within a country during an year. And in that, the net income from abroad is also added, that is the income which we get from abroad in the form of factor incomes will also be added in this total of goods and services. And the main component of national income is GDP, that is gross domestic product, which I have explained in the different video. The next term is economic development. Now what is economic development? It is a process whereby the real per capita income of an economy increases over time. That is, in case we want to know about that how an economy is developed, we will go through the per capita income of an economy, which will indicate the actual economic development or the development of a particular economy. And it is a long period concept, because within a day or two, an economy may not change from underdeveloped country to a developed country. So it takes a long period of time for the development of a certain economy. And the last term related to your chapter development is longevity. That is a long and healthy life as measured in terms of life expectancy years. So longevity is a part of life expectancy only, which shows that whether a person is living a healthy life and how much life he is expecting within a particular average period. So these were all the factors related to the chapter development, and these terms also show that how the development of a particular nation or a particular area is dependent on the various terms related to the educational factors, health factors, as well as the per capita income. So these are the main three factors through which we judge the development of a particular nation, that whether a country is underdeveloped, developing country, or a developed country. So this was all about our today's video, in which we studied about the various terms related to development. Thank you so much.